Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good day. It's February 25th, and today I'm going to be talking about our upcoming kind of small systems. Right now, there's not a lot going on weather-wise. Um, we don't have a whole lot of large storm systems, or not. We don't have severe weather outbreaks either. So there's not a whole lot to talk about, but we're going to be talking about what we do have to look at uh, right now for weather. So yeah, let's get started. So today we did have that marginal in northeastern Texas and into Mississippi. It has been expanded since last night. Now, looks like okay. Well, this is the hail threat. Hail threat is pretty much the whole marginal risk, and wind is a little bit smaller. It's kind of the center of the marginal risk in the eastern side of it. So in the Mississippi, northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and northeastern Texas. We can see what we have going on right now. We did have some hail producing storms right to the northwest of Dallas. Of course, the Dallas Fort Worth radar is out, so we're gonna have to use this one. You can see, yeah, those look to be pretty strong, and there's some more coming too. These ones do look to be a little bit weaker though. And then on the other side over here in northern Louisiana, we have more activity. We can see we have several storms. Now with these storms, there's a little bit less of a chance of hail. The chance of hail is still there, though it's just a little bit less. We have a higher chance of damaging winds with these in northern Louisiana. And those moving into Mississippi. And then to our marginal risk that we have for tomorrow. We can look at that marginal risk for tomorrow. So yeah, for tomorrow we have a marginal risk in areas of northern Louisiana, and that extends into northwestern Georgia and southern Tennessee. And with that, we have a 5% wind and a 5% hail, and no tornado risk. And then on day 3, just a general thunderstorm from Texas and the Mid-Atlantic. Now we're going to start off by looking at tomorrow. So yeah, we're gonna look at bulk shear 0 to 6 kilometer first. And we go out to tomorrow when we have our storms. We have a lot of it, 80 to 90 knots, and that is going to be helping our storms. This is one reason we can actually get strong thunderstorms of barely any instability. And yeah, now let's take a look at the 0 to 3 kilometer helicity, or storm relative helicity. And let's go out till tomorrow when we have our storms. So we have a lot of it, especially right where we have our storms. Maybe in some areas around 200, 400, maybe even 500 in some isolated spots in front of the storms. And now let's go to the side of things where we don't have, or that's going to be kind of an issue for tomorrow. And we look at ML Cape first. You can see we don't really have any in this area. Most of it is limited into maybe the extreme south side of the marginal. But even in that area, even in the Gulf Coast, or even at the Gulf Coast, we don't have a whole lot, only 400 to 500. So not a whole lot of instability tomorrow at all. And another limiting factor is moisture. We don't have very high dew points at all. Also, in our marginal risk, which we can see it's right kind of in this area. Dew's only in the 50s. Right around the Gulf Coast, we do have dews in the mid to upper 60s in some areas. And maybe we could get dews in the 60s if we can get the warm sector, which is right here, a little bit further to the north. We could maybe, in the southern side of our marginal, get some dews into the 60s. So we'll have to see what happens with that. And actually, by Saturday morning, we do have some dews in the 60s in this area. Yeah, but now let's see what the HRRR is predicting for reflectivity. So it has a morning squall line in areas of Mississippi, Louisiana, and even Alabama. That moves east throughout the day and weekends once it gets to Tennessee and Georgia. Maybe a little bit more development in the afternoon in that area. And actually, this is early Saturday morning, kind of, or late Friday night. We do have maybe some interesting storms in areas in northern Alabama, northern Mississippi, and Tennessee. during that time. So let's see what those do. We also do have more moisture at this time. It's going to be interesting to see what those do. But yeah, so that's tomorrow. Not a severe weather outbreak or anything like that. There's a chance for some isolated to scattered severe thunderstorms. Alright, so let's go talk about, or switch topics. Let's talk about winter weather now. We're not going to be having a whole lot of it in the central and eastern U.S. In the northwest, though, we do have a lot of mountain snow, and even some snow in the lower elevations also. But our next chance of snow in the east, like the northeast, will be Saturday night, or actually Saturday morning, sorry, where we could have maybe some snow, sleet mixing in areas in New York, and then throughout the day Saturday, that moves to the northeast. And the GFS actually has extreme northern Maine staying mostly all snow. Maybe rain mixing in at times, a little bit of a wintry mix. But it mainly has extreme northern Maine having all snow. And even central Maine could start off as snow, but you will likely switch back to rain. And as you guys can see, most of the snow with upcoming storm systems will be limited to Canada. And the last thing we're going to be talking about in today's video, there's going to be a lot of rain across the south in areas that have had a lot of rain and snow. Keep in mind, just last week we had a giant Arctic invasion for the central U.S. There was a lot of snow. In areas like this, in this area, have had a lot of snow. That's all melted, so the ground is very saturated. And we're going to be having a lot of rain over those areas. And we can take a look at how much rain we're going to have real quick. Going to be having several inches. Now this is just, let's just go to Saturday evening, actually. In northern Mississippi, we have almost 2, 3, maybe even 4 inches localized. And then once we add in the first few days of next week, we go to Tuesday evening. We've had almost 6 inches localized in southern Arkansas, maybe in the northwestern Mississippi. So a lot of rain. And then we go to the European model, and we can also look at that and see how it compares. So we're going to go to Tuesday evening of next week. And let's see. All right. The European has a pretty similar solution. A little bit more rain further to the south, though. We have a good 4 to 5 inches for areas like Jackson, Mississippi, and northern Mississippi around 5, Memphis around 4 inches. So a lot of rain across the south. So a pretty unsettled pattern over the next several days. But yeah, that'll wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow. But yes, bye.